and welcome to this part of time and space. My friends call me Bright Earth. This is a name I was given in a ceremony when I was born. It is part of my indigenous heritage and culture. So I want you, if it resonates with you, to repeat after me. I am a manifestation of the Creator. I am divine. I am aware. I am conscious. Now I approach you as your reflection, an image manifest in your individual reality. And I'm here to bring you awareness. I'm here to bring you the conscious fire, motivation, passion, and creativity. Many people have come to me reaching with their open hearts and listening ears. There is a lot of pain and frustration upon the face of the earth. There always has been, but now more than ever is the time for us to unify and to recognize each other, to recognize ourselves. You see, those of you who have come to me and asked these questions, perhaps it is curiosity, perhaps it is pain, perhaps it is despair, perhaps it is the urgent need that is created by scarcity. And today I'm here to share my knowledge. I'm here to open up the pathway for all of my friends, my human family that has come to me asking for knowledge. We are of the same source of energy, and all life on my homeworld is connected. I shall show you. That's a dream catcher. See, when you look at the dream catcher, every individual point relies on the next one. If you snip one thread, it falls apart. So, my point with that is that we are all connected, and I believe that we are all from the same source. Some religions may call them God. Some may see gods. If I may reference the Hindu, perception, they believe that quote-unquote God is Brahman or Brahma, and that Brahman or Brahma is like the sun. We can see the effects of the sun's rays as the plants grow. We can see and feel the light, but we'll never fully capture the essence of what that sun is. We only feel the effects, something that trickles down from a different place in time and space and can either bring us life or death. And you see, my friends, that is why we must understand and become conscious, because our choices, they either give us life or death. It's one or the other. And sometimes it's really hard to facilitate within ourselves this awareness because we get so lost and caught up. And for most of us, it was a process of breaking free and liberating ourselves from the chains which held us captive since birth. Other people's ideas, other people's experiences, other people's voices mediating what should only be mediated between oneself. That internal conscious awareness, only mediated by our own thoughts, our own speech, and our own action. And it's taken me a long time to fully understand myself to the point where I can say confidently that I have a message for you. It is our responsibility to unify within the self. Thoughts, speech, and action. This is how we change the world, and this is how we bring everything together. This is how we facilitate the path of healing, first within, and then outside of ourselves. So, addressing a lot of people from other countries, when I speak of the pain, the scarcity, the lack of direction, people who are fed up with what they've been given. A lot of my friends in Africa, other third world countries, India, What I want to discuss here today is the most common question I've gotten. I got this question 10 years ago, I still get it today. How can I join the Illuminati? That's a really good question. In response to that, I will tell you that there is rarely a time when you can just do a ritual and then you get everything you want and you get the money and everything's good. There's no more problems. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to convince you, but I'm here to open the door and make clear the way. Because the man with the most pain has the most wisdom, and pain is the greatest teacher. You see, the Illuminati merely represents illuminated beings. It is those who have taken light into themselves. Only difference between the illuminated and, say, a star is that a star is finite. A star will eventually die. When a star dies, its light is still traveling across time and space in one final death throw. The light that hits our face from the stars at night, it's light that's still actively traveling across the void of space from a different time. Does that make sense? The illuminated are those beings who ask questions. The illuminated being are those who choose rebellion. The illuminated beings are those who choose to rebel against the status quo and stand up for what they believe and choose to find their own way. You will never become illuminated, consistently asking questions of everyone else to the exclusion of self. My brothers and sisters, there are three different kinds of knowledge. There's primary knowledge, there's secondary knowledge, there's tertiary knowledge. Primary knowledge is when you directly experience something. It's when you have an experience that directly affects you, your five senses, other senses, they give you information, and from there you assimilate it, you grow, and in our mindset we progress. We are always making progress. Secondary information. This would be if I go talk to George. George went outside, he saw a plane. He told me about the plane. And I heard it from George, but George is reliable, he's trustworthy. That's secondhand knowledge, hearing from somebody else. It could also be in the form of a book too. There's different channels of communication. Tertiary knowledge. Tertiary knowledge would be, I went and talked to George, that's my neighbor. He's verified, told me about the plane, and then I came to you and I told you what George saw. It may or may not be reliable. It's like that game of telephone. You tell something to one person, they tell it to another person, it just gets distorted. You see, to become illuminated, to become as a star in the void, per se. To become the circle of consciousness, to bring into our circumference of awareness our individual experience, and to create new experiences with the conscious hand, to progress. We must recognize and we must validate ourselves through the process of initiation. My brothers and sisters, again, this video is for everyone, but to those in Africa, in India, and other third world countries, what I'm here today to discuss with you, if you truly wish to be illuminated, if you truly wish to choose this path, you will not find easy money. You will not find easy riches. It will rarely go exactly as you plan. I can teach you to work with the elementals, the ancestors, and other spirits. I can teach you these skills and these abilities, and this I plan to do. It's part of my personal path as a teacher. And my primary reason for doing this is because I want to see you heal. With that being said, this path is a hard path. Not everyone understands because the majority of people are not illuminated. If we were all illuminated, would it still be the illuminated ones? You see, we are all stars. We all shine our light, but our light is different because many of us understand that we are mortal and we will die. And our aim is to be conscious of where we go when we die. For some, that means to stay on planet Earth. For some, that means to go to a specific dimension. For some, they may not have that goal. But our primary and our main focus is not to reach either heaven or hell. It is to exist now in the present moment and realize that this is both heaven and hell. With that being said, when you die, where you go is much like a bow and arrow. You are the arrow, your conscious life is the bow. I'm busy right now. Okay. Thank you. Your life is like the bow and arrow. You are the arrow, and your conscience is the bow. You can direct where you go. See, we are all made of energy, our resonance, our frequency. This is mediated and dictated by thoughts, speech, and action. So take those three things and make them the same. Are you doing what you think? Do your thoughts control your actions? Does your speech really mediate what is going on inside? Do you think before you speak? Our goal is to create within oneself, and we are reflections of each other, a more mindful and conscious awareness. Awareness that is not mediated by shame and guilt and regret, but an awareness that's mediated by self-love and truth. And truth is subjective. With this being said, if you have listened to me speak and you find that my words resonate with you, then I want you to never follow me. I'm not here for followers. I'm here to create within you a leader. I want you to follow yourself. I want you to understand the power of selfhood and self-love. In my culture, the shaman was one who would take medicine. They would heal the sick. They would call and they would do certain ritualistic actions in a certain kind of manner to change the weather, to create peace, to foment war. In all manners, the shaman was the one who had the connection with the other side. And now we are in a new age, when we have the internet, when you are thousands of miles away from me, but I can speak to you as if you're standing here. Initiation is the path and the process of becoming greater than you are by facing a challenge, by facing a test, and using your thoughts, your speech, and your action unified, using your knowledge, your wisdom to overcome that challenge and test. To directly answer many of your questions, you wish to join the Illuminati, believing that it will bring you money. Well, if you become illuminated, you can possibly be more successful. There's a cost. You must put in the effort. You must work for it. Nothing is free in this world. Never believe that. The only thing that is free is death. To initiate yourself, what I want you to do, and again, this is within safety because a lot of you live in areas where there are predatory animals. What I would like you to do is go out into the forest, go into the jungle, go into the woods, and again, be safe. Don't get eaten by a tiger. I want to hear about your experiences. Go out into the forest, sit there for 15 minutes, and breathe. That is it. This is your first test for initiation. If you are serious and you are watching this video, you go out into the woods, the forest, turn off your phone, disconnect from everyone and everything. Find a place where you feel safe and comfortable. I recommend either early in the morning or at dusk. Do it around sunset time is what I would tell you if you were with me. And pray. Say something like this. Spirit of the forest, spirit of the woods, spirit of my homeland, I call upon you. I call upon the animal spirits to appear to me by flesh and by dream, to make themselves known, that I may build a connection with my animal totem. Just say something similar to that. Speak from your heart. This is it. 15 minutes or so, sit in the woods, take deep breaths, and just literally focus on the air going into your lungs and then exhaling it. It sounds very simple. This is my first test, my first task for initiation. Why? 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 That's a very good question. So before me, I have a collection of items so I can demonstrate. This right here is a coyote. The coyote symbolizes shape-shifting, transformation, the trickster. It also symbolizes being able to change your astral form and dream. This is a symbol. Having this beautiful and mummified creature with me, it does nothing for me unless I empower this symbol with my belief. These are coyote bones. Here are some deer bones, elk bones. Here is a stone that I found. It's got a nice quartz streak running through it. Here's another stone that I found. If you look closely, you can almost see like an alien head. It's pretty cool. And here is a drum. Now, why am I showing you this? Also, here is a giant mushroom that I pull off a tree. I'm drawing it out so I can draw certain symbols on it. The reason why I'm showing you some of my collection of items is because these are all items that I found in nature. They are all symbols that I believe in. I believe in the power of animal medicine because when you establish songs for them, when you sing to them in the woods, it's a very amazing, liberating feeling. When you collect bones, you can do certain things with these symbols, glyphs. If you hold these, you can connect to different kinds of essences, make a wand, which is simply just a tool to direct your will. With stones, these are great for grounding energy in, right? I have other stones, but the ones that I showed you, for example, this one, when you're meditating, say if a coyote appears to you by a dream or in the real world, an owl appears to you, you simply just visualize the animal in your mind and then you hold the stone. And every time you pick up that stone, that memory is going to be carried with it. And eventually these items will gain power and they'll mean more and more to you. Or this stone, for example. See, after you do the prayer to the animal spirits and you meditate in the woods, I want you to choose the next time when you go out there and sit in the woods, open up your heart, open up your mind, speak what is in your heart, speak what is in your mind. If you don't know how to sing, learn. My personal experience is, one of my mentors taught me about 10 years ago, he sings, he will sing songs, and that is what helps him to raise energy. That's a great tool. That's why I have this drum here. I learned to drum and I learned to sing from my heart. Nobody taught me. But it was in this manner that I began to have these experiences. I would find more bones on my travels. I would find certain things in nature that, really resonated with me. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. It's not about what other people want. It's about what you find on your own path. Because these are just symbols. If somebody were to take all these away, I would only have me. And that is why you must put the importance of belief and the power of belief into you. With that being said, the second prayer, I want you to say something like this. Spirits of the forest, elementals, I call you. I call upon, fill in any deity you wish. I call upon the ancestors. Guide me now to the symbols that I may use to empower my belief. Very simple. You see, all of this is motivated by intention. Our intentions are like the bow and arrow. We take our intention, we take the intention as an arrow, our mind is the bow, our heart is the bow. We draw it back, an intention, and we aim it. We send our intention into the universe, and we get responses. All of these things were things I found in my travels. They were all very responsive. With that being said, the third lesson I have for you, and those of you who wish to become illuminated, is I want you to go out into the woods again. Take some time. Focus on your breathing. Enter a trance, meditative state. And call out to your ancestors. For now, I'm going to leave it at that. There's nothing I can really put into words. When the time is right, I will have another video about how to call the ancestors. To recap what I'm saying, there are those of you who wish to join the Illuminati. We are in a new age. Now is a time for recognition of the self. You must love yourself. Love yourself enough to test yourself. It is through tests and challenges that we become greater and more powerful. To gain power, you must put yourself in a situation where you are forced to make choices according to your wisdom, according to your knowledge. Apply those and become greater. My goal is to teach all of you, especially in third world countries. You have great heritage, you have great history. Call upon your ancestors. Call upon your grandfathers and your grandmothers. Sing them songs. You will find the songs when you listen to your heart. And in this manner, you will begin to gain power and gain knowledge. With that being said, ancestors, I ask that you would come into the lives of all those who watch this video with a pure heart and a pure mind, with true intention. I ask that you would go forth to Nitsawa and you go forth to Ziti Zasiti. I ask that you would go forth to these men that I'm mentoring and that you would shine and flourish. I ask that you would teach all who are watching with genuine interest that they may go into the woods and sing, that they may find the tools of the earth to create within themselves great beings of light. Aho.